Hello, and welcome to the Workforce Retention Grant Application Overview. First, let's go over some important information about the application. The grant application portal opened on July 26, 2023, and it closes at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on September 15, 2023. The grant consists of two payments. The first payment for workforce retention will be paid approximately 30 days after a provider's application is approved. The second payment for staff recruitment and payroll tax assistance will be paid approximately 30 days after the first expense report for payment 1 is complete. To complete the grant application, programs will need to know their employee's name and date of birth. For New York City group day care programs, the provider must enter the date of birth of each employee that appears on their staff roster. For all other modalities, this information is pre-populated but should be reviewed. Programs will also meet the number of average hours each employee has worked from January 1, 2023 until June 26, 2023. Employees must have worked an average of 15 hours per week from January 1, 2023 until June 26, 2023, or from the start of their employment until June 26, 2023. School-age child care program employees must have worked an average of 10 hours per week from January 1, 2023 until June 26, 2023, or from the start of their employment through June 26, 2023. To access the grant application, providers must have a personal NY.gov ID. Providers should use the same NY.gov information they have used for previous grants. If a provider does not have a personal NY.gov ID, they can easily create one. After logging in with their NY.gov ID, providers must complete a verification step. First, they will need to enter their license, registration, or DCID number. New York State providers should enter their license or registration number. New York City providers should enter their DCID number. Then a security code will be sent to the email associated with that license, registration, or DCID number in the New York State or New York City database. After verifying their identity, a provider can then access the application. There are 7 steps to the application process. Instructions. General application information, staff retention bonus certification, estimated grant award amount, options for use of funds, payment information, review application, and provider attestation. When completing a grant application, please keep in mind the following. Required items have a red asterisk and must be completed before a provider can move to the next step. Once saved, an application number is created. After the application is saved, a provider can exit and return at a later point in time to complete the application. On the Applications page, providers can view draft applications and submitted applications. All grant payments will be made to awardees through the Statewide Financial System, or SFS. If a provider does not have an SFS account, a W-9 form must be completed, and an SFS account will be created for them. Once an application is submitted, a provider should download a PDF of their application and their staff list. Now let's take a look at the Workforce Retention Grant application. After logging in with your NY.gov ID, under Grant Opportunities, you will find the Workforce Retention Grant. Select the Apply/Review button. Next, enter in your license or registration number if you are a New York State provider. Enter your DCID number if you are a New York City provider. Then select Search. Select your program from the list below and select Next. After verifying your identity, you will then be able to start your application. Find the Workforce Retention Grant in the list of grant opportunities and select Apply. Read the instructions in full and select Next to begin the application. Note that there is no option to save until after completing the first step, General Application Information. You will be able to save your application after completing the General Applicant Information step. Step 1 is the General Applicant Information. Most of the information on this step is pre-populated. If any of this information is not correct, please contact your licensor or regulator. For New York City daycare centers, please contact the DOH-MH Borough Office. If this information is not correct, you will need to wait for the information to be updated before completing your application. At the bottom of this page, answer the 3 questions and select the Save and Next button to proceed. Step 2 is the Staff Retention Bonus Certification. Here you will select the staff who are eligible to receive a staff retention bonus by answering the 3 yes or no questions about each staff member. All 3 answers must be yes to be eligible. A no response to any of the questions will result in the staff member not being eligible for a staff retention bonus. Question 1 reads, the staff person has worked an average 15 hours per week between January 1, 2023 and June 26, 2023, or from the start of employment to June 26, 2023, or an average of 10 hours per week for SAC programs. In order to answer yes to this question, the employee must work a minimum of 15 hours per week in a child caring role, or an average of 10 hours per week for SAC programs. Please see the program staff eligibility calculators on the Workforce Retention Grant website to assist in calculating the average hours staff have worked. Question 2 reads, at the time of this application, the staff person is in a child caring role in which they provide direct supervision to a child or children. Approved child care roles are as follows. Staff roles in OCFS/CCCFS include all employees in a child care role, which includes teachers and assistants, director, acting director, medication administrator, site supervisor, assistant on-site provider, substitute or program assistant. Staff roles in New York City DOH-MH CCAT system include ancillary teacher, assistant teacher, education director, group teacher, special needs teacher, substitute teacher, teacher director, or other. It is important to note that although a staff person may be in one of these titles on record, to be eligible for this grant they must also be currently serving in a child caring role at the organization. A staff member meets the definition of serving in a child caring role if they provide direct supervision for 1 or more children at the time of application. Question 3 reads, to your knowledge, the employee has not already received the bonus payment issued by this grant from another child care program. Answering yes to this question means that the program has no knowledge of the employee already receiving the Workforce Retention Grant bonus payment from another child care program. Answering no to this question means that some other child care program has this staff person on their application for the Workforce Retention Grant Staff Retention Bonus. As a reminder, answering no to questions 1, 2, or 3 will result in the employee not being eligible for a staff retention bonus from this facility. You must answer yes to all 3 questions for the staff member to be eligible. Staff are only eligible to be paid by one program. Eligible staff who work in multiple child care programs operated by a single organization will only be included on one application. It is the responsibility of the legal entity or organization to determine which program will include these staff on their application where they provide direct supervision to children for the minimum number of required work hours. No one staff person can receive more than one staff retention bonus regardless of how many programs they are associated with. Eligible staff who work in multiple child care programs operated by a single legal entity or organization can use their combined work hours to meet the minimum number of required work hours. For staff that work at multiple legal entities, the first legal entity that includes these staff in their submitted application will receive the bonus payment for that staff person. Other legal entities will not be able to apply for these staff going forward. The legal entity should include that staff on their application if they meet the staff eligibility criteria for their organization. Staff who are employed at both an OCFS licensed or registered facility and a New York City DOH-MH Article 47 day care center are only eligible for one bonus payment. Programs will need to attest that they have confirmed with all eligible staff they are including in their application that no other programs have already applied and included that staff in their application, or that the staff have not already received the bonus payment. For programs with more than 5 staff members, use the next button below the table to view additional staff. If staff records are already associated with another workforce retention grant funding request, this will be indicated on the page. If the staff list is not correct, complete and submit the application. Then contact your local child care resource and referral agency or CC RNR for additional guidance. They can assist you in determining if the missing staff person is eligible and can work with OCFS to have additional eligible staff accounted for. Step 3 is the estimated grant award amount. This page will display your estimated grant award amount. The total award amount will be split into 2 grant payments and will be made to providers who are open, providing in-person childcare, and are in good standing at the time each payment is to be made. The first payment will include all staff retention bonuses. The second payment will be made after an expense report is completed and will contain the staff recruitment and payroll tax assistance portion of the grant. Step 4 is options for use of funds. This page outlines eligible grant fund expenses. Step 5 is payment information. If you already have a statewide financial system or SFS ID, your ID will be pre-populated on this page, and you just need to select Save and Next to proceed to Step 6. If you do not have an SFS ID, you must fill out a W-9 form and an SFS account will be created for you. Step 6 allows you to review your application. In the Review Application step, application information is populated from previous selections and can be edited by selecting the Edit button. Once your application is submitted, it cannot be edited, so be sure to read each section carefully and make changes as needed. The last step is Provider Attestation. Read through all provider attestations, check the boxes, sign, and submit. Once your application is submitted, you can download a copy of your application page and view your staff list from the Thank You page. You will also receive an email confirmation with your application number. Also, after your application is submitted, you can view your application status, download a copy of your application, and download your staff list on the Submitted Applications section of the Facility Information page. For questions and resources, please reach out to your local child care resource and referral agency, and visit the Workforce Retention Grant Help Center website at the address listed here, ocfs.ny.gov/cc workforce-grant. You can also call the Workforce Retention Grant Helpline at 833-791-2743. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.